Hi everyone, my name is Barb. Welcome to Knottyyarnies. I'm laughing because I've probably did about 30, yes, at least 30 takes of this. And boy, I am messing up today. I don't even know if I should go forward with this, honestly, today. If I'm flubbing up the first 2 minutes so drastically, I have no business doing a whole episode, but let's continue on. Welcome everyone, new, returning. I appreciate you all. If you're new and you get to the end of this video, thank you for one, but for two, if you got anything out of it, I would love for you to consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when I'm putting up a new video or going live or all those things. So got lots of stuff on the agenda today and I hope you enjoy. I did introduce myself, Barb, Knottyyarnies. This is podcast number 31, June 22nd, National Chocolate Eclair Day and National Onion Ring Day. So maybe you'll partake in having one of those little yummy treats. So thank you everybody who tuned in yesterday for the live with the collaboration with Gina at the Knitting Turnpike and Lorraine at Chatelaine Makes. We really had a great day yesterday. Thank you so much for making it all possible and joining along. We have so many wonderful people. I'm going to tell you more about the collaboration later in this episode and what that details. I'm going to show you the one that I'm finished, and I'm going to show you, it's a sweater, that's what I'll tell you, and I'm going to show you the one that I'm currently casted on this week that's new. So today I've got some FOs, I've got some whips, of course, who doesn't have whips, and I got a couple new crafting adventures that might interest you, just to show you. It won't take long. I've got a few acquisitions, and of course there's more. So so in this past 10 days I have went live twice for the One Cal collab, and that was so much fun. As always, we've drawn 2 winners because every time we go live with it, there's a winner for that week. We have 3 more lives coming up, so that means 3 more prizes to go out as well. And the 4th best prize is, of course, your finished object, your finished sweater that you made. So that's the best prize of all. Also, I did the bingo over at Fire Hustle with Erin and Chip. And we had so much fun, guys. Oh, so much fun. Sorry, put my hand in front of my face. It was like 2.5 hours of laughing my butt off. My stomach hurt when I was done. My head hurt. I had a headache. I laughed so darn much that night. And we play 3 games. Well, technically 6, but there's only 3 cards. Well, 2 cards. Anyway, there's 3 games, and then we play 1 line, and then when it goes, then we play another line on the same game, and then we move on to game 2. But it was 2.5. Oh my gosh, I got wool everywhere. And oh, it was so much fun. Thank you so much, Chip and Erin, for hosting that and putting it all together. It's quite an endeavor, I'm sure, to do, but we all greatly appreciate it and love it and have fun. It is so much fun. We do it over in I think, yeah, in Zoom land, and yeah, so we get to all sit, and I mean, we watch each other's podcasts, so you comment underneath the videos, so you know what each other looks like and stuff. But when you're playing bingo there and you're like, oh, I see the people that I watch, so I'm kind of fangirling because it's like, oh my gosh, there they are, and I'm able to talk. I kind of freeze, but this time was my 3rd time playing, and oh my gosh, I'm feeling more comfortable to say things, so that might not be a good thing, but it was a fun thing, so I really enjoyed it. So maybe I'll put a picture here of what my room looked like, because you're supposed to decorate yourself and your background. Oh, I apologize, guys. I got wool like everywhere. You're supposed to decorate your background yourself if you so choose, just to join in on the fun. Every time they have a theme. So I did, the first one I did was a Christmas, and I won for the best background that time, and because I'm a Christmas nut, so let's just put that there. And then the next one I played, I missed the Valentine's Day one because it was full, so I played the spring one, and I decorated all for the spring and spring colors and things. And then this one was Pride Bingo, because it's Pride Month, and so I decorated, as you could tell, I decorated all Pride colors and went totally all out. I did not win for best background, but I did have 3 votes, which thank you everybody who voted for me. Not like you're watching, I know, but it was so much fun. But guys, I won a bingo. I won a one-line bingo, so this is what I won. It's from a rainbow colored yarn for Pride Month, and it's from Get Knit Faced. So check them out on Instagram. I'm not sure if they have Facebook. I know they're on Instagram because I do have them on and follow them on Instagram. So I can't wait to get my yarn in. It's coming from the States though, so I know it'll be a while, but I can't wait to get that on my needles. So much fun, and the winning was honestly just a bonus because the night is just fun. I wouldn't even care if it was just for smiles and a fun night, because honestly I just enjoy being there. The prize is the piece de resistance, if you will. What else? Oh yes, if you've watched before, you know that I had my second shot like 4 weeks ago now. Well, the new news for this last 10 days is I'm as immune as I can be from getting my second dose. So on last week, I was able to go and visit my mom. We played 20 games of Yahtzee. We love dice games. So we played Yahtzee, and when we play Yahtzee, we play 3 games at once. Yep, 3 games at once. I have a dice collection, if I've never told you that here before. A beautiful dice collection. Like, I have hundreds of sets of dice in all different colors, materials, shapes, sizes, you name it. Anyway, we played 20 games of Yahtzee, 3 games at one time, and if you were to break that up, that's actually 60 games of Yahtzee. But oh, it was so nice to be able to be there with her and give my mom a hug and play and just enjoy the whole day spending with her. It's been too long, so I'm so excited now. I also blocked my shawl, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and because I'm allowed to go into my mom's now, she's got a great big pool table in her basement, so I laid out my blocking mats. I didn't even have to get on the floor, just put them on the pool table and put it out, and was able to go around and pin it, and she kept me company while I was pinning it. And it took probably 2 days to dry. I don't know. I went there in 3 days, and she had said it was dried the day before, so I could have picked it up the day before. We also had Father's Day, so any of you that are fathers of a human, a fur baby, a feathered baby, a lizard baby, any of the things, happy belated Father's Day. I hope you were able to do something wonderful with your children. So we'll move on to knit, and because I'm wearing it and I want to take it off because the wool is on my face and I'm kind of getting warm, I'm going to talk about this piece first, even though it's not my first on my list. So this is the Whistler shawl. Should I put up, maybe I'll try to put a picture up here of the designer's Whistler shawl, because it looks totally different than mine. Hers, there was a small version and a large version, and I did a test knit. This was a test, my first test knit I ever did, and I did the small. I chose to do the small because I knew I wanted to do the Vertices Unite, and I knew that was coming up, so I wanted to have the small version of this. And with the timeline, I didn't want to disappoint the designer. being my first test knit, if I got stuck or something, I didn't want to be stuck and then go past the date, because I'm firm on getting something done when I'm testing right for that date. So I used the variegated color that's in here is my own dye that I did, and the brown is called chocolate. It's the brown in between the sections. It's called chocolate. It's just a loops and thread wool-like, and I love that yarn. It's like more like on the really fine side of fingering weight, not quite lace, but it's pretty light, so I like it. And I used 3.5 millimeter needles with a 16-inch cord on my Chow Goose for this. What did I do? So for this, two things. For this, how does it work? When you change colors from here to here, you can carry it up through, so you never have to drop the main color. So I kept the main color was always on the needle, so I carried it up, but I did fasten off, and I probably didn't have to for the brown, but I did fasten off. So there was quite a lot of weaving in, because there's a lot of sections like this. What I like about it, I like that it's more like a scarf, this one, than an actual shawl. And I like when I tie my ends with the knots. There was two things that I noticed, okay, with this. Not a bad thing about the pattern whatsoever, but I noticed two things. One thing was about my yarn dyeing, and here you will see the color change. Look at the color change there. And I didn't change my balls. This was the color change that just happened in the right in my skein, the same skein. So I guess I must have put more yellow in one side of the pan than the other side, because it changed, but you don't really notice it, I don't think, when it's on me. Another thing, which was me, I was watching TV while I was doing it, and I got to one section and I forgot to add the brown stripe in, and I got really far down, and yeah, I could have just went through and did the brown section, but I didn't. I learned how to rip back. So what I did was just like an afterthought heel, what you would do. I went through and picked up the left legs of all the way across with my set of needles, and I pulled back, took my needles out, my other set, and I pulled right back, and it was so much easier than I thought. Like I did it right away because I didn't want to overthink it, because I knew if I overthought about it, I would never do it. I would put it aside and it wouldn't get done. So honestly, if this was not a test knit, I probably would have either kept going and not did that, or I would have got upset with it, put it aside, and not finished, because I know myself. So luckily this was a test knit. I did that. That was my first experience doing something like that. And now I won't be afraid next time to do it. It took no time at all. I was so impressed with myself. So again, this is the Whistler shawl. Oh, I didn't say the pattern. The designer's name is Vitalina, or Vitalina Crafts. So, and you can find her on Instagram and probably Etsy, maybe Ravelry. I'm not sure about the Ravelry though. But yeah, beautiful shawl to work up. Very easy, beginner friendly. There's really, it's just to note, if you're blocking it, it blocked out at 9 feet wide. 9 feet wide. So I don't know if the large I think might be the same width or length, but it's a lot wider, so that it goes down a lot deeper in depth. So that might be the only difference. It might be 9 foot as wide as well. This was also my first thing I've ever blocked that wasn't a sock, so I was pretty excited about that. So my new blocking pins came in handy with this. So excited, so excited. So my other work finished object is my other knitted finished project. I did just 2 plain dishcloths. why I'm showing them to you is because I tried, you know, the old one where you start with the 4 stitches and then you do the yarn overs down the side and it has all the holes in it. Well, I thought I would try 2 different ways that didn't have the holes. So here's one, and there's the other. So what I tried was, this first one here was done by knitting front back. Yeah, I knit front back instead of the yarn over. And on this one, I tried making one right. So that's picking one a stitch up and in the bar across in the middle, and then going through the back loop of that stitch to knit that stitch off. That's called make one right. And I don't think I have a preference. I think the knit front back one has a nicer edge than this one. So here's a shot of both. The knit front back is the top one, and then the bottom one is the make one right. So I noticed one thing. I did these on my Chowgu needles, my interchangeables. I could do them on straight needles now, but I'm so used to like the 5-inch needles instead of having the long needles sitting there. I've noticed I become a tighter knitter over the last year. So I've actually went and did increases until I had 47 on the needles. Instead, before I would do 43 and it was quite a large square. And this is 47 and it's not as large as I still would want. So I think I should go up to 50 or 52 to make a more decent sized cloth. But I also did 4.5 millimeter needles instead because I was thinking I was still a loose knitter, but I shouldn't have did that. But I think I'll still use that size needle, and I'll just go do more increase rows, which makes more decrease rows as well, but do the increases until I get to probably 52 and then go from there. So this is just handicrafter yarn, the cheap, I don't know the colorway, just scraps that I had laying around. And I'm going to actually put on my next finished object. So the next section is finished objects in crochet. And here it is. This is my America tank for our 1 cal collab that we are doing here at Knottyyarnies, Knitting Turnpike, and Chatelaine Makes. So you still have time to join in on our cal, everyone. If you crochet, even if you don't crochet and you want to learn, you still have time. You have 5 weeks to get it done. So our final date is July 23rd for submissions by midnight Eastern time. But you don't even have to finish. If you just started and you send us a photo of you just starting and then you're over half done, that's fine. We're good. We're not all about the rules. We're good with that. We're not good at following rules, us ladies. So I used for this a 4 millimeter hook. Oh, and this is the America Tank, as I said, by On the Hook Designs by Jeannie. She's on, you can find her only on Etsy and Instagram. She doesn't have a Ravelry. I love Ravelry to have my project pages all in order, so I have it there and it's easier to find the patterns. I still have no clue about Etsy, and I don't plan to ever go and buy more patterns there, but some maybe just don't like the Ravelry for other reasons. I used 3 balls of Bernat Softy Baby colors in Yellow Rainbow, and then this is Karen's Simply Soft Red, and then at the bottom I have Karen's Simply Soft Yellow. I don't know if you can see here the yellow. Sorry about the belly shot. Maybe I'll put a picture here of me wearing it. better in a photo anyway. You see the whole outline of it. My size, it doesn't come really in sizes. The pattern is more a recipe than a pattern. So my size is 24 inches across so that it fills out for my bust. And then I made it 27 inches in depth for the back piece so that the back piece measures 27 inches down. And it on me, it goes to about the bottom of my zipper on my pair of jeans when I'm wearing jeans. What else can I tell you? I only had the 3 balls of the softy colors. So what I ended up having to do was modify it. I ended up having to cut it short at the bottom, not do as long as I wanted. I also ended up doing a neckline that was way, way open. It was like beyond a boat neck. Like, let's be honest, it's like from shoulder tip to shoulder tip. So I had to fill all this area in. So what I did was I did a lot of decreased rows. Every time I did a decreased row, so like I started at like 15 double crochets and then 2 double crochets together. And I finished that all the way around. 15 double crochet, 2 double crochet together. Then the next round I would do 14 double crochets and 2 together. 14, and then the next one 13 and then 2 together. I did that up until I got to 8 double crochets and 2 together to finish. That's how big the neck opening was. I did the same for the sleeve. Now the construction of this is in 2 pieces, though. You do the front, you do the back, but I did these pieces in the round. So the sleeves, this, and the bottom. Once I had it all together, I made this in the round. What else can I tell you about it? I did, like I said, the double crochet. I stitched the sides together in the pattern. I think she recommends to single crochet them together, but I like doing the mattress stitch. I find it a nice cleaner look. So I did the mattress stitch. There was something else I'm forgetting as well. And when I ran out of yarn, I knew I ran out of yarn about here in the front, and I knew I had to finish the top because it would look kind of funny with another color up top. So what I decided to do was finish the length of the top to where the neck and the shoulders start, because it stops here. It stops about this much shorter than the back, the front piece, and then you do the shoulders, right? So what I did was when I had that ball left, I went to my scale and I measured how much the ball weighed, and then I wound 2 balls, like divided that number in half, wound 2 balls, so I had 2 equal balls, so that when I did the one side, I was able to finish the whole one side of my shoulder. I knew I had enough in the other ball to finish that side. But I didn't do the width that the pattern calls for. I opened it up a lot more, like I said, because I knew I wouldn't have enough yarn to do a really wide shoulder area on both sides. So I planned this part right when I knew I was running low on yarn. I thought I had 4 balls. That's why I went with it, because I knew I wouldn't have enough with the 3, with the yardage, but mistakes, you know, learn from your mistakes, and or adapt to your mistakes, and that's what I did with this sweater. So I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm a funky gal, so I like funky things, and this fits the bill. When my son says, "Mom, are you going to wear that in public?" I know I did my job right. Funky it is. So that's my One Cal collab hashtag. And if you have any questions, just let me know. No problem. Our next live for the collab will be Tuesday, July 6th. Why Tuesday, you ask? It's because it's a long weekend in the States because of July 4th. And some people in Canada get a long weekend because of our Canada Day, which is the week before technically, but because it's actually on the Thursday, but some people might take the Monday, might take the Friday. I don't know how people's works work, but we're just hoping that, you know, that if people are off on holidays for the week, at least then if they're back home, they'll be home and comfy for Tuesday for our live. So come join us live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, noon Mountain Time, or 11 Pacific Time. Any other times, if you need to know, just ask Google. They're awesome. Just say, what time is 2 p.m. Eastern in, and ask your time zone. And Google will let you know. Pretty interesting tool. Okay, so I'm going to show you my whips now, if you want to stick around for those. I've got just a couple. I've only got 2, so it's not heavy with whips and stuff. So, yeah, I'll put on my whips. I'm going to put my t-shirt back on because this is kind of warm, so give me a minute. Hey, I'm sorry, I have 3 whips. I just found one when I was changing. So, it was sitting here. I just didn't include it. So I decided, because I was finished the one Cal collab, we have 5 weeks left, and I'm a host, I should make another one. There's so many people making so many wonderful ones, and multiple. I think there's somebody with 5. Like 5 of them. That's how addicting they are, though. Not one is the same. Different materials, different colors, different sizes, different hook sizes, different makes, some with sleeves, some with length, some... Oh, there are just so many amazing ones out there that I can't believe. And I knew that at the beginning coming in. I had mentioned that there's not going to be 2 alike. And that's what's so unique about it. You put your own spin on this. So easy to do, even for beginners. So, first you start with a gauge swatch, okay? So, I found, well, first you decide on what yarn you're going to use, and to make sure that you have enough of the yarn to start with, unless you're like me and daring and crazy. So I went into my yarn, and I wanted something cotton. Like, I just had to take that off because I'm in the house. It's air conditioning in here, and I'm still warm. So you can imagine how warm that was, even though it's short sleeve. So I wanted something with cotton. So I found I have some of this cottony silk by Loops and Thread, and the color is called Sun Valley, and it's 426 yards per cake. So I know I have over 1,278 yards. So I know I'm good enough to make my whole sweater with this. So off I went to do a gauge swatch. So what I started with was, I looked at the ball band. This is a number 3 weight yarn. Oh, I should say it's 60% polyester, 20% cotton, and 20% silk. And it's not super soft, but it's not like dishcloth cotton either. It's softer than that. But on the label it calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook. So I thought I would do a swatch in a 4 millimeter and a swatch in a 5 millimeter. So I started with the 4 millimeter first. So what I always do is I want a bigger swatch because I want to know the drape of the fabric. So doing a small oh my goodness, a small swatch doesn't allow you to feel how it's going to feel, right? So a larger swatch, and it doesn't take long to do a swatch in crochet. Knitting, yes, but crochet, no. And then I thought I would do 2 inches of double crochet and 2 inches of half double in the same swatch, just to see with that hook size what stitch I'm going to use and like. So I started with the double crochet. I'll see if I could show you. This is with the 4 millimeter crochet hook. So the top part is the double crochet. The bottom part is the half double crochet. Now, I think you could tell really how kind of stiff more it is. And I wanted a denser fabric because I wanted it to be light from the cotton, but still warm enough, if you know what I mean, like for cooler summer nights. So I was pretty sure this was the way I was going to go. But like I said, I find it pretty stiff. So you probably know what I'm going with now. So then I took my next cake, because I always like to show you, keep the swatches on to show you. It's the same colors, just my second ball, or cake. So I took out my second cake, did my swatch in 5mm. And here's how the 5mm worked up. Now you can see that it's more holier. The top part is the double crochet, the bottom is the half double. But I really liked the way the double crochet, how it looked. And not just looked, the drape of it. The drape of it to me was nice. So off I went with that. I wrote down that I start with a 6mm crochet hook for my chain, and then I used a 5mm crochet hook for the body of the sweater. So I wrote down, what I did was, then I wrote down the hook sizes that I wanted. Then I took my 4 inches of ruler, gauge ruler, whatever you use, and I counted how many stitches were in that 4 inches using that hook and that stitch. So I got 13 double crochets in 4 inches. Exactly. And I knew that my measurement was 24 inches. So 4 goes into 24 6 times. So I knew I had to have 6 times 13 stitches, because I needed 4 for every 4 inches. So every 4 inches all the way across, 24 inches, and times 13 stitches equaled 78 stitches. So I needed to have 78 stitches across for the front alone. And then of course, or the back, sorry. Of course, I'll need 78 stitches across for the front as well. So gauge should be perfect. When you do a gauge swatch, it saves so much time. Imagine doing that whole piece 24 by 27 and realizing that you were off by this much and you can't even wear that sweater now. Like, it just does not make sense. Spend that hour or two, however long it takes you to make a swatch, and do that. Now, row gauge doesn't matter as much in this instance, because you just keep crocheting more rows if you need to. But of course, I measured my rows. Did I write my rows down? I didn't write my rows. Oh, I have another note here. So my amount of rows with the 5mm hook was 2 rows were 1 inch. So 27 inches long, I would need 54 rows of double crochet for that. Okay, just we'll hold at that point. I'll have to tell you something a little more about that in a minute. So then I grabbed my hook and off Barb went. I chained 80 chains, and then I double crocheted into the 3rd chain from the hook, and just 1 second, I gotta pull my stitch so I don't lose my stitches that I have on here. And I now have 12 inches. So I'm already halfway up the sweater. No, up the sweater? No. Now I'm 12 inches, so I'm not quite halfway up the sweater if I was doing it this way. But I'm not. Why I said I'm halfway is because I am, because I'm doing it this way. So 12 inches is half of the width. So in my case, I need to know how many rows across equals 24 inches, right? So I know, because of my row gauge, 2 rows equals 1 inch, that 24 inches across is 48 rows. So I need to do 48 rows for my back piece to be 24 inches. I didn't decide to do it this way until I started crocheting it, and I was like 11 inches in the rows when I decided, and I looked at it like this, and I noticed that how striped it was. In the skein, you really can't tell what it's going to do. By that, you really can't tell what it was going to do. But when I seen it striped, I said, that has to go this way for me. I really, really want it this way. So doing it that way, as you know, it's 24 inches from top to bottom now instead of the 27 that I wanted. But, you know, like I said, you change things and learn, and incorporate new things. So what I'm going to be doing is putting a trim around the bottom once I sew it together of 3 inches to equal the 27 inches. Or maybe I want to do a little bit short and I only want to do a little bit, maybe an inch of trimming around. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. The only thing I've decided on is that I'm going to not use a second color. I'm going to do all my trim in this just to blend it in so that it's not stuck out. I want the stripes to stick out and to stand out, all the beautiful yellows and oranges and in this. That's what I want. So when I started doing this, and I noticed this going this way, and I seen everybody's photos, and I'm like, you know what? I want people to get creative with this cowl. And so I hoping to inspire at least one person, hopefully one person. So what I decided to do was make up plans to make this second one into a cardigan. So this will be my back piece, which will be 24 inches across, but I'm going to do 2 like this, 12 inches to do each front side, and it will be open in the front. But when I get to the front pieces, like I'm only going to do probably about, I haven't measured this yet, 8 inches maybe. And then after I get to 8 inches, I'm going to have to start the neck shaping, the decreases there. So I did a little diagram for now just to show you the idea of what it'll look like. And see, notice here, I'm going to have to do the rows will be going like this, so I'm going to have to take some rows away from that top area there. So I'll have to figure out the math for that. So yeah, I'm excited about that, excited about having something different and learning something different. I'm just really, really excited about it. I just have this sitting by my chair and I can't put it down. I keep switching between knitting and this because this is just easy crochet, double crochet back and forth. I don't have to think about it, and I love projects like that, to have something on the needles or the hook that you don't have to think about so often. So let's make sure I talked about everything to do with that. Sun Valley 5mm. Yep, that was for that. So that's the hashtag #1cal collab. Join in on the fun, win some pretty cool prizes, and I hope everybody went back. If you didn't catch the live, you go back and watch it, because we announced the winner and the winner has not come forward yet. So I'm hoping that they go and watch it. I don't want to tell them they won. I want them to watch it and then hear their name. So if you haven't not watched it yet, go watch it to see if it's you that has won. Don't give it away. Don't say congratulations to anybody. We really want to surprise them when they watch it. So, okay, the next whip I am working on is the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. And it is, where do I have my information here? I'm using 3.5mm Chowgu needles, the interchangeables, and I'm using my hand-dyed yarn, and I'm just finished section 1. So when I last showed you, where was I? Ooh, I wasn't very far along. So here's my stitch marker where I was last time. I just had that little piece done. There's my stitch marker. And now I am finished. The whole, I'm doing the large size. There's a small or large, but hey, let's go all the way. Let's do the large. So here's my large. You can imagine there's four more sections to do, and they build off all the sides and things. You could imagine how large this is going to be. So I, needless to say, need another set of blocking mats. I have those blocking mats that are 2 foot by 2 foot, and I need more. So I'm going to have to pick up some more there this weekend. So not that I'm finishing this weekend by any means, but now I'm going to pick up after this podcast while I'm uploading this. I'm going to pick up along the one edge and go on with my section number 2. So I will show you the rest of my colors. And this is my hand-dyed yarn, that pink, teal, and purple. mixture. And then the solid purple is wool-like purple. I didn't write it down. I don't think I wrote it down. I'm sorry. It's, oh, I think I might have a ball of it. Oh, no, I don't. It's wool-like purple. It's like this, but it's just a darker, the darker purple. Okay. So I didn't want to use all hand-dyed yarn. It would be like a $200 shawl, right? So I figured I would use, when it's striped, I would use the wool-like with it. And the wool-like is like on the really, really light side of fingering weight. Do you hear that? That's my husband's John Deere tractor. Every hour on the hour, it plays the sound of a different John Deere tractor from the 50s starting up. I just love it. Every hour on the hour. Every time I'm live or every time I'm doing a video, it's in every single one of them. And I've never mentioned it. And when I went to edit, I'm like, I should mention what that sound is. Nobody's ever asked me, but I'll mention it. So, yeah, so the wool-like is like a really lightweight fingering. Very lightweight, almost like lace weight, but it's a great addition to a shawl. So that's the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. My next colors, I'm going to show you. This is a small version. I'm going to show you the pattern. This is the small version. Now I'm doing section number 2. This section here next. So it's another striped section. So that I'd like your comments to see what you think. And I will wait for people to let me know what they think. So I'm using, this is my hand dyed that I'm using for sure. I showed it to you skein form last week if you want to look at it there. Now I would like to know if I should go with the gray with it. This is a really light silver gray, or if I should go with the pink, the dusty pink, or even this is a lighter shade of purple that I used the first time. Let me know what you think. Oh, maybe you want to see it with beside this one. There's the purple, the gray. Now I'll switch to the pink. See what everybody thinks. And then the last one is the silver gray and the hand dyed. I know which one I think I'm leaning towards now that I did that, but I'm not going to say, and I'm going to wait to see what other people say. And then my my other color for the shawl, like it involves 5 different colors, and I've already, that would be 4. And so this is the 5th color, and it's supposed to be the one that pops, that you really want to bring out all the other colors, the one that stands out kind of. So this is my ball I'm going to use. The light is kind of blowing it out a little bit. It got really sunny yet again before I started recording. But I showed it in skein form last podcast as well. So this, and then it asks for a border color, and you're supposed, the border color is supposed to be, what color is the border color supposed to be? D. A, B, C, D. So the border color is supposed to be, I guess, the one that's in the second section, but I'm kind of thinking of doing a solid colored border. So maybe what I do is whatever color I don't choose to mix with that one, maybe I'll use for the border one of them. I'm not sure. I mean, that's a long ways away. I'm just on section 2, but albeit that section 1 is the biggest section in the whole shawl. And I'm not sure how I'm picking up, but he makes the pickups the way he wrote the pattern. The pickups are so easy to do. You know right where they are. Like every single placement. He just does something. I'll just let you know that. He does something in the pattern for section 1 that makes it extra easy to pick up for section 2. I'll just leave it at that. So amazing. I can't wait. So I'll get to start picking up, but I'm not going to do that until I hear what everybody thinks about color, because I'm not that great with color and I could really use a hand here, guys. So if you have a decision and you really have a reason why you think that those colors go together, I'd even love to know that. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what colors everybody decides on. Okay, so my last whip that I have that's active, I should say, because I've got lots of whips. I really should do a whip parade, but I've got so many things that, like with the cowl going on, that I have to do. And I'm doing the, oh, I forgot to mention the Vertices Unite. I'm involved in the hashtag Hustlers Unite cowl and the NATR Boys 2021, and that's a make along that, or a knit along or make along, because it's crochet along or knit along. Anything that's pattern designed by a male or identifies as a male, or any yarn dyers that you bought your yarn and you're using the yarn from a male dyer or identifies as male, or you're making for a male or someone identifies as a male. You could enter up to 3 times then for one project. That's the NATR one. But the Hustlers Unite, that one's, I don't even know if there's prizes. It's just for fun for now. Over at Fiber Hustle, they're just hosting it. And they actually had the Stephen West in their video. Oh, okay, it's bad enough I'm fangirling when I see Chip and Aaron. But then when I seen Stephen West pop in their video and do a little video clip for them for their podcast, I died a little. I was screaming. I'm lucky my husband wasn't at home. I'm lucky he wasn't in bed, because I literally would have woke him up. I was so excited and was, oh, so jealous too. Guys, you had Stephen West on your podcast. That's crazy, crazy fun. Okay, so my next whip is a knitted one, and I'm making my oldest son. Both my sons and my husband love my knits. Just depends on what it's for. My husband loves my teddy bears and his slippers. A hat I've made him before. My youngest son loves his hats, blankets, and slippers, and teddy bears as well. And my oldest loves everything pretty much. Like I could knit him a sweater, he'd love it. I could knit him pajama bottoms, he'd probably wear them. I've knit him a tail shark, like the mermaid blanket, tail blanket. I made him a shark one. I've made him slippers. I've made him hats and things, but I'm going to, for Christmas, make him knitted socks, because he wears wool socks to work in his work boots. So I'm going to make him some knitted socks, and I'm going to make quite a few. So as many as I can make between now and Christmas. So I've got 6 months and 3 days. So I'm using this Opal. It's called Opal Pullover and Wool Sock and Wool. And it's 4-ply Fresh Freud 2. And it's a 75% wool, 25% polyamide. And this is the color. It's called Party. The color's called Party, and there's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. I don't know if that's like a certain stitch count, because I'm not sure if mine's looking like that, but here's what mine looks like so far. I didn't get too far, but I'm like 27 rows in. That's the one side. There we go. So I'm 27 rows in and growing. I'm using my ChowGoo 9-inch circulars, 2.25 millimeters. Loving them. My first socks that I created, that I knitted ever, and my only pair. I did on 9-inch circulars, but I used a bamboo because that was all I could find that was 9 inches in local stores in Ottawa. So I ended up piercing a hole through my finger. It was so sharp. And the way I knit, I pushed down to get the stitch off. I pushed down the needle and I had a hole. Oh, it took like a month to heal. So those socks that I made for myself, after I blocked them, they actually fit my oldest son. So perfect. I didn't have to try to figure out. I don't even have to mention anything to him. I know they fit him and everything. And because I use superwash and everything, he could throw them in the wash. I've thrown mine in the wash multiple times already, and they look still brand new. Perfect, because I'm sure that's what he's going to do. He's a busy mechanic. He's not going to be taking the time to hand wash his knits. So I wanted to tell you, the needles that I used, I said, there I go with wool again. 9-inch circulars, but they're interchangeables. I got this little set. I actually got 2 little sets here. And sorry guys. Okay, so this little set here, the small set is 120, and then the larger set's 150 for these. But what they are is you get the set of needles. You get 2 sizes. So you get 2 inches and 3 inches of each size. 2 millimeter all the way to 3.25 millimeter. Which is US 0 to US 3. Okay, and with those, you get with this set, they're mini cables in 5, 6, and 8 inch. So you can make, like when you use the 2-inch needles and you use the 5-inch cable, 9-inch circulars in every size from, like I said, 2 millimeter to 3.25 millimeter. Or if you're doing a sweater and you want a sleeve done, or you're doing mittens and you want the mittens in a smaller circumference, you can make them like 9 inches, 10 inches, or more. Like the possibilities are endless because you got the 2-inch and the 3-inch set, and the 5, 6, and 8 inch. So do all the math, you could add them all up. So what you do is you take the 2-inch, so you times that by 2, so that's 4 inches plus whatever inch cable you're using. So if you're using 8-inch plus 4-inch, then that is 12 inches circumference for probably a sleeve or something. So that's that one. The other set is the same. It's 2-inch circulars or 2-inch long and a 3-inch long set of all of them, but they're larger. They go up to size 5 millimeter, and they start at 3.5 millimeter. And then the cables are, instead of minis, they're smalls, and they have the same size, 5, 6, and 8 inch, so that you can make 9-inch circulars and just make a chunkier sock if you want, or mittens or whatever, a sleeve. And that's what I really got them for, was to do socks of different sizes and mittens, okay? If anybody wants me to do a video, I have a few different, even this one, this is my shawl kit, a few different packages of needles. And they're all ChiaoGoo, these ones, but I also have Addie's Rocket Squared, and I also have an off-brand. So if anybody wants me to do a video of all my hooks and needles, or all my needles for knitting, and discuss what I like and dislike and what you could do with them all, like a complete series kind of idea of all the needles, I'd love to do that if there's anyone interested. I'd like at least 5 people interested, because I don't want to do a video and have nobody watch it, because these do take a lot of time and effort, and it takes like 2 days out of my whole schedule to get ready, to film, get all the information, do my notes, and then all the editing, and then that's not even including the recording process and getting myself ready and mentally prepared for doing the video. So if there's people out there that are interested, I'd love to know, and I will definitely do that. That will be on my short list of videos to do in the next couple months. So that's all my whips. I have two, if you want to stick around, I've got two crafts that I just kind of did on a whim. I'm not going to show them unless people are interested in future. I just want to show you what I've been up to. And then I've got a few acquisitions and then talk about future things. So if any of that interests you, stick around. Oh, and some gifts. I have some gifts from still coming in from my birthday from my family. So the first thing, Fiber Hustle Bingo, as I mentioned, I showed you my background, was Pride colors. So I didn't have a Pride anything to wear. So I went to Michael's and their t-shirts were $3.99, and of course because I dye cotton, I had tie-dye in the house, so I tie-dyed myself a shirt. Here's the front and there's the back. How cool is that? This was so much fun. So I tie-dyed it on Thursday night, and then you let it sit for up to 48 hours. It doesn't really matter as long as it's longer than 12 hours. And in my saran wrap, just sitting there, no heat involved, and then you wash it. And then once you wash it and dry it, the heat sets it in. So I did that, and oh, I love it. I love it. I want to do more. I want to do one that's just pink and purple because, of course, those are my colors. So I want to do one in just pink and purple. I sat there and watched this guy called Mr. Tie-Dye. One sec, I'm going to check so that you guys could know. Yeah, Mr. Tie-Dye it is. I watched a video of him for 55 minutes, and oh, it was so interesting to watch all the different, so within a minute you could see him, how he tie-dyed it. Then once it was dry, when he opened it up to see what it looked like. Amazing. Loved his videos. They were memorizing. So that was tie-dye, and using tie-dyes from like Walmart. I bought the kit. And the next venture I got into, because I keep waiting for shop updates for people's project bags. I have so many lovely bags that I purchased and got gifted to me from Wild Woolly Handmade, and I don't have any Christmas bags. So I want to start working on Christmas projects, and I would like to have them in Christmas bags. So I said, hey, you've got a sewing machine. As you see, it's sitting right here. You've got a sewing machine, so why not sew up your own? So I decided just to make some basic drawstring bags. So here's one. I made a larger size. Like, it's short, but that's all the material I had at home was the next couple sets of materials. So I had that one, and I don't have any interfacing in it yet because I didn't go out and purchase any special stuff because our stores were still closed. So I even ran out of ribbons, so I'm going to get rope for this next one. I don't even have the strings in it yet, but this is all sewn up already. This is like maybe a shawl size bag, a smaller shawl, not a Stephen West shawl, but. And then I had a little bit of that material left over, so I made a couple of little just pouches. So I just did the drawstring on one end for the pouches, and I just throw those in with a snack or with, you know, this could even be probably, I just thought of this, this could probably be like one of those yarn cake holders. That's actually a really good idea. Just thought of that now. So yeah, so I just thought I would start on those. I thought I'd make myself a few, and maybe eventually I'll make a couple and for giveaways. If that sounds good to you and you think that's a good enough prize, that and some other couple of other items with it as a giveaway prize, let me know. I'd love to hear that. Now it's time to talk about my acquisitions and the future stuff. So it's not really long. My acquisitions is, I have already the 5-inch, oh, just one second, I'm falling apart here, guys. The 5-inch set of ChowGoo. But when I bought the 5-inch set ChowGoo, oh, I'll just leave that on the floor. I didn't purchase it. This was a gift from my mom for my birthday. So when I got these, these are awesome. I love the 5-inch because they're perfect. They rest perfectly on my hand. They don't dig in or anything, but I got the 4-inch, and I know they're going to dig in a little bit, but I still needed them. What I needed them for was, I realized, for hats, because with the 5-inch interchangeables, you can't make a 16-inch circumference. The cables are too long. So the shortest cable you get, you could only make a 22-inch cable. So it would be 22. So you could only do magic loop for hats. Didn't make sense to me. I make so many hats. And if I was to buy a separate needle for each size of yarn, I was looking at $100 anyway. So I figured I would get the full set of the needles. So it goes all the way from 2.75 millimeter to 10 millimeter of 4-inch. So now I've got the 2 4-inches equal 8-inch, and I've got an 8-inch cord. So that equals 16 inches. Before with my 5-inch needles, 5 is 10-inch with the 8-inch cord. I guess it was 18 inches was the smallest you can make. And I wasn't sure you could do a hat with that. I think you get 8-inch. Yeah, an 8-inch cord. I'm not sure what you know what? I'll take a look. This is the stuff I wanted to discuss on one video itself, was to discuss the ins and outs of every kit and why you might want each kit. Okay, so with this kit here, the 5 inches, you didn't actually get that 8-inch cord. You actually only get a 14, 22, and 30-inch, and a 14, 22, 30-inch in the larger cords too. So I couldn't have made, so the smallest I can make with this was 14 plus 10, 24-inch. I was correct. So this set comes with smaller length of cords. So yeah, I think I will do that video. So I hope you let me know that you would find that useful to do that. Then I got in from, my son ordered for my birthday. My birthday on Etsy. And it was coming from Ireland, I think he said. Yeah, come from Ireland. And I'm trying to see if it has a name. Oh, classicmetaldesigns.com. And he got me this made. Barb's Knitting Room. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting. And it's like a really nice quality. It's not just a cardboard. It's fade resistant, and it's 3 millimeters thick, rust proof, rot proof, waterproof, UV protected, can be put outdoors in all weather conditions and temperatures. Thank you, Ryan and Kiana, for my lovely birthday gift. I have it up already, and I just took it down to show on the podcast. I actually am going to put it up here so it's in my background every time. So I have that. Then I accidentally ordered on Amazon. I seen this on a podcast, and I said, that sounds like something I would be interested in. So it's Amy Herzog's Ultimate Sweater Book, and it's the essential guide for adventurous knitters. Now what this book pretty much is tells you all about the different sweaters, the construction of them, what set-in sleeves mean, what dropped-in sleeves mean, like what all the different things and parts and pieces to sweaters and construction. So in the round with a yoke, or knit flat in pieces, all the different things. And it's a whole book on construction. There's patterns in here as well to give you an idea. There's patterns for cardigans and tank tops, and there's talk about different needles. It has all different shapings and needle sizes and gauges, and there's gauge swatches for you to, so I just getting into this, and I love it already. It was actually cheaper on Amazon than it was to buy in a bookstore. So this was $29.99 Canadian, and in the books it shows that to buy online separately it's $30-some. So that was that. So then my husband our store started opening, and they opened on the Friday before last Friday. So just the night that I put out my last video, he took me the next day to Michael's. He says, oh, you haven't been for months, and let's just go look. Well, I'm glad that we did. They had grab bags. You know those $5 grab bags you get, and they have a big bin and they just randomly stuff stuff in? Well, I got, sorry for the rustling, I got this big bag, okay, for $20 and times 2. The other bag had a bunch of stuff in it that I've actually donated to the secondhand store because I didn't need it. I just wanted what was in here because I could tell by the squish I knew it was in the packages. So in each package, so I bought 4 bags at $5. So I spent $20 on 16 skeins of yarn. $20 for 16 of these. These are all brushed swirl, 608 yards on each one. It's a really, really fuzzy yarn. It's got quite a halo on it, but this makes great blankets, like really, really nice blankets or warm shawls, warm hats. It is a number 4 weight yarn, 46% acrylic, 44% polyester, 5% wool, and 6% alpaca. It's only downfall is a hand wash, but I don't mind that. But 16 balls of different colors. So I got that green one. I got this gray one. I got this beautiful blue color. Whoops. Oh, this is in pieces. It's literally fallen apart. So that's going to be some untangling for that one. Oh, here's one put together in that color. So, yeah, there's 16 balls there. I won't show them all to you, but most of them I showed you. I just have multiples of those colors. Okay, and lastly, still at Michael's. I apologize. The dog thinks he needs to speak. Whiskey, come on, get down. I'm almost done. Just wait. So the last part from my Michael's haul were just some yarns and things that were on clearance. I guess that they're not going to be selling anymore, so I thought I would grab it while it was good and cheap. So I picked up, they still are going to sell this, but I guess maybe not these colors or maybe the lot numbers. I'm not aware. So I found another one of the chocolate wool-like that I used in my sweater that I showed before. And I also picked up the color tan. So these were like $2 and they're regular $4.29. Then I picked up a Lion Brand Landscapes yarn in the colorway Rainforest. And that was $2. Then I found for $3 a whole ball of Wool Ease Thick and Quick Lion Brand in the colorway of Charm. Then these, I mean, those prices, you can't leave it there. Like, honestly, like that will make a pair of slippers, that Woolies. This will make a beautiful, beautiful hat. Like, for $2, you can't buy a hat for $2, let alone make one, right? And then I wanted to try this. This stuff was regular $11.99 and it was on sale for $6.99 and it's going out of stock. So whatever they had, and I haven't tried it yet. So I wanted to let you know how it was. So it's the Loops and Thread Eco Calm Stripes, and it's made from recycled plastic. I loved that it's recycled plastic. It's not like acrylic where they're taking a thing and making it. So this is like, just to me, I see the word using something recycled. 433 yards. This is the color Unicorn Party. Oh, that's cute. 4 weight yarn, 60% recycled polyester and 15% polyester, 15% acrylic, and 10% wool. So if you're allergic to wool, it's not for you, but it's a roving type yarn. And it's a large ball. Like it's 7 ounces, 200, almost half a pound of yarn for that price. Can't go wrong. So, and I've always, like I said, I've always wanted to try that yarn. Then the last one for yarn, I purchased 3 balls of this Joy Decay in the colorway of Iris, and it is a number 3, I think. Number 3 weight yarn. It's anti-pulling acrylic, and it's 100 grams and 273 yards. So I bought 3 of the purple, and then I picked up 2 of this colorway that is called Malibu. And because I have 5 skeins of it now, I have a plan for it. And of course it's purple, so it has to be made into something for me. It was, how much were these? These were on for $2 a piece, so I couldn't toss them up. They had more colors that were $2 a piece, but I didn't get them because I didn't need them. And like the other ones that were $2 a piece, I mean, I could make a hat with them. These are solid colors. I have a lot of balls of solid colors. I don't need any more. These I have a specific project in mind. So then I seen this. It was regular $15. I think it was actually more than that before, but it was on sale for $5. I don't have one, and I thought it was pretty cool. A size US 70, a size 35 millimeter beechwood crochet hook. Look at the size of that. Like, here's my finger. This is huge, but this will be cool. I wish I had this to make my pet beds. I used a really chunky yarn. This would have been perfect. So I got that for $5. I have one signed by Mikey from the Crochet Crowd and Diva Dan, and it's smaller than that. I wish I got them to sign one that size. Then I just picked up some Rit Dye, the powder. I use this for speckles on my cotton. I picked up a set of extra small pom-pom makers because I didn't have the extra small size. I figured if I'm going to do a banner with little mini hats or something for Advent, the extra small will be fun, and they were only $2, and they're regular $12. Then I picked up, this was $1, a boy gauge and like needle size, hook size counter. That was $1. That's what I said. I think they're getting out of selling some things. So then I got a couple of like row counters that you could put on your knitting needles. These were $1. You could also put these onto a, make a stitch marker out of them and put it right on your project, and then you could click as you go. Then I got a couple of cable needles that were $1 for all 3 of them. And lastly, this was a really good score. These were $20 and they were on for $3, these sets. Knitting accessories. So they have like tip stoppers, and they have removable stitch markers and stitch markers for large and small needles, the clover. So it was $3 for this. $3? Yeah, $3, and it's regular like $20 or $25. So I was happy with that. So yeah, that's all my acquisitions, I believe. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah. Oh, I have some news. Kayla Osborne has released her pattern for the Sunset Tank. I wrote all the instructions down here. Where did I? Okay, it's called the Pink Sunset Adult Blouse. It is $6 US on Ravelry or Etsy under the name Spring into Fall Designs. And it goes from size small to 5X. And the size that you see here is the size I did, which was an extra large. Now, I'll also put a picture here, it's probably already there, of the original, her pattern, because it's long sleeve and it's a longer cut, and she does it as a fade, where mine is completely different than hers, as yours would be too if you do it. But I really, 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 really recommend her pattern. It's amazing. It's a fingering weight sweater, so it's so much lighter than the America tank that I was wearing. That was so heavy, but the her sweater, it's so nice to wear. It's so lightweight and it feels so nice on. It's easy, beginner friendly. There's no sewing pieces together. It's just round and round and round, fun crocheting, and so well written, as her patterns always are. So easy to follow. And she is a designer that you would message her if you had a problem and she will get right back to you. The support with her is amazing. I've tested for her multiple times now, and I jump every time I see that she's asking for a test crocheter. I jump at the opportunity because she's fantastic. Her designs are fantastic and they're fun, and she gives us testers a long window to do the project, which is always appreciated because life happens, right? So I just wanted to make sure to let you know that it's released now out in the world for all to enjoy. And I hope when you purchase it, maybe tell her that Barb from Knottyyarnies sent you her way to pick up the pattern. So I hope everybody enjoyed. I'm glad you came along for the ride. If you've stuck it out to the end, you're a true trooper. And so until next time, everybody, remember July 6th, that Tuesday, is our next live, and probably the end of next week. So this is so probably July 2nd-ish, you should expect another podcast from me around there. So take care, everyone. Have a great week. Happy summer. Yesterday was summer solstice. I was it's thrilled. I was awake from sun up to sundown. It was so fun. And yeah, take care, everyone. Keep on being naughty. Thanks for joining me again. Take care. Bye. Any questions, ask below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I never say that, but thought I would today. Take care, everyone. I'll miss you. Bye-bye.